What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Thank you for watching Sportsbook Review. This is the Jimmy the Bag Show live at the world-famous Dog and Bear, 1100 Queen Street West, the best place in Toronto to drink heavily and watch Raptors, Leafs, or any soccer. It is a very famous bar for English soccer, Premier League action. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I would say happy Valentine's Day, but I don't care about Valentine's Day. What I do care about is the Minnesota Wild getting me right in the drink hole last night, 3-1 up, 8 minutes left in the third, and that hurt me really bad. It was not a good night for hockey, and I am angry about it. We are going to talk about it. We are also an all-star break and for NBA, and we have a special guest comedian that I'm so excited about. Tim Steeves will be joining us, writer for the Rick Mercer Report, writer for This Hour Has 22 Minutes, won 4 Geminis for writing in a comedy series, and easily one of the best comics in the country, and also a poker player, makes his cash playing poker, and I can't wait to talk poker with him. This is a big poker show today after we cap these 4 NHL games. I have nothing without you low baggers in the chat. It means so much to me. There's my guy, Eduardo Solano, my guy, Ed Solano in the house. Dan Kelly said, I posted an NBA parlay a day so far in the new chat. Hit them both. Got lucky in OT yesterday. Come on. There's we need that sometimes because we're going to get it to go against us. Sometimes we need some luck in OT. Says next Thursday will be the next one. Much love to you, Dan Kelly. Thank you for sharing your NBA wisdom with us. It means so much to us. Dylan Turner, AM. Danny Menlo says, my God, you guys got here early. My low baggers came in early. I also got in here early. It is very, very cold outside. Nuke worker in the house. There's my guy, Nilo, says, we'll be cold today, minus 29. Jesus. There's my guy, Dave Burke, got laser eye surgery yesterday. I can't look at screens for more than 15 seconds. Is this going to stop me from capping? Hell no, says our Dave Burke. Davey Burke in the house. Primetime DJ S. Primetime DJs in the house, says horrible day down 4 units. You know, I want to take the blame for that. I want the Minnesota Wild to take the blame for that. We're going to get that cash back. I like this NHL card. I almost made moves on every game. I held back. I could still make moves on every game. I still could make moves on every game. Mitch Bruner, Daytona 500 top 10 finish. Michael McDowell at plus 350. Oh, I like it, Mitch. I like it. There we go. I'm going to start copying, pasting our action coming in. Low baggers action. I will be copying and pasting here right now. Mitch Bruner giving us a plus 350 to get the day started. Dave Burke made a 2-leg taint parlay yesterday. Should have gone solo bets. Northern Arizona did not look good, but Stetson won very easy for us. So Taint goes 1-1. You know, Taint goes 1-1. Liberty Finder says Valentine's Taint. Yes. Deer Slayer Ski in the house. We got Corey Kelly ready to get to work. Walla Dose. Mark Unca for serious business ready to go. King Weasel. I want to go 3-0 in hockey and parlay the 3 teams up as well. I like that, King Weasel. I'm with you. Let's get it. Let's absolutely get it. I'm with you on that. Richard Lee, Paco Healy, the Felt Bandit, Boston Nick, a.k.a. Boston Nick, a.k.a. Mr. Fat. The Ski Prop says, what part of Canada? Toronto. Man, we're in Toronto. Brooke Jordan says, Jimmy, NHL card looks fire today. I like this card. And I could make moves on each and every one of these games. I made the 2 moves I really wanted to make, and we'll make some more decisions as we go. Dan Kelly said, Jimmy the Bag still getting used to the cold. Embrace the cold, Jimmy. I'm going to do my best. It's very cold. It's very cold. Mr. Ghost says minus 30 in Belleville. There's Julian Cesario. He's in Los Angeles. He's feeling good in Los Angeles right now. DX Filer, Trot Wham. Akili Walker says happy big times money day. There's Boom G's ready to get to work. Rye Cape, Danny Menlo. Love seeing Brooke Jordan. Trot Wham also in Los Angeles, feeling good about himself, I'm sure. Nice to know that your family's warm, you know, but we're freezing. There's Nutflush Allen, whom we miss so much. Karma Media Network in the chat. Peter Lucas, hope you guys were on Florida Gulf Coast. Let's talk about some of the great looks yesterday. Peter Lucas gave us Florida Gulf Coast yesterday. That was his play of the day. Our guy Peter Lucas, they won by 12. Poker Addicted 79, a.k.a. Piker. He doesn't just deliver hilarious insights in the chat. He also gives us angles to hammer. Yesterday, he said the sharpest NCAA side so far appears to be Louisiana Lafayette at plus 6.5 because it had been steamed down 2.5 points. It opened up at Pinnacle at 8, but at other places it opened at 9. but only 34% of the action. They were in the game the whole time. They lost by 3 and covered. Shout out to Poker Addicted 79. AM says, sounds like my kind of bar. Yes, this is your kind of bar, AM. These guys are all heavy soccer fans down here. It's you'll love it. You got to come down on a Saturday when the EPL is going off, because we are live at the Dog and Bear, 1100 Queen Street West. There's Paco Healy, Richard Lee. All right, let's get to work. Let's get to work. Not applicable saying Jimmy to try to say salutes in this pick. Yeah, I hear that. There's Corey Kelly. All right. Let's get after it right now. Alex Ramirez, star of the Spidey play today. Young Suave, ready to get to work. Dav Fence says St. Peter's -5 is a taint. Did I miss the taint? All right, let me copy and paste that. Dav Fence saying St. Peter's -5.5 is the taint. I know that I've had a great joy hammering these small cards with Maxwell Smart, and I hope you're watching Max's new show with Flash and Donnie Rightside. That goes off 9:30 Eastern. That's the first show of the day for us. There's Teeth ready to get to work. There's Flipper13 says Jimmy should do a show outdoors in February. Flipper, we're going to be talking a lot of poker today, and I know Alex Ramirez, a lot of you guys are heavy poker players as well, so I'm looking forward to talk poker with our special guest. Okay. Let's get to work right now on this NHL card, and let's start Rafa, my man on the 1s and 2s down in Costa Rica. Let's get Rafa to put up the NHL record, and it's horrifying. I can't believe after all the glory we've had the first 2 years that I'm looking at an 84 and 108 record. 84 and 108 record. We have an average line of plus 123, so we're down 8.58 units. There's just no way that I'm going to end the season in negative units. There's just no way. And I hate sitting here looking at that record. I hate that record being up on the screen. And sometimes with honesty and transparency, you get embarrassed and upset. And that's what I am when I see that record. We got Shaquille Bell's play of the day coming in. Davidson +4, and Davidson money line +160. Our guy Shaquille Bell coming in with his play of the day action. I'm going to copy and paint that. Sorry, I got taint on my mind. Valentine taint, St. Peter's -5.5 from Matt Randall. The taint play of the day getting more and more popular every day. Not a day goes by where everybody's not screaming, what's the taint play of the day, and how is your taint handling the cold here in Toronto? That's what everyone's talking about. All right, let's get after it right now. We are going to start with Canadiens, Penguins. Let's bring up the best odds page on the planet, sportsbookreview.com, SBR odds page. Also, Dan Kelly says, is Valentine taint more sensitive than regular taint? Yes, it is, and it's redder because it's being violated. So it's, yeah. Okay, let's get to work right now. I'm pumped. In about 19 minutes, we're going to bring on Tim Steeves. I can't wait to have him on this show. Easily one of the sharpest minds in the comedy world, and a heavy poker player. And we haven't talked poker yet on this show. And I love poker, and I know a lot of you guys are into poker, so I'm looking forward to do this. But let's attack this NHL card right now. There's Big Ragu in the house, says tainted up. Jimmy, much love to you. Ragu! All right, let's go right now. First move, Canadiens, Penguins. I am on the Penguins -1. I came very. Oh, we got Lamont Williams, max bet. Oh, max bet cash yesterday. Oregon -4. Nice job, Lamont. We know what you do. You cash. There's Maxwell Smart in the house, and Akili Walker like in the under in the St. Peter's game as well. I'm gonna jump on that in a bit. But first, let's cap this NHL card. Also, if you want to support the show, please hit that link at the bottom of the screen, www.sbrvideo.com/thebag. Also, like and subscribe. All right. I need a bounce back day very, very badly. We cashed on the Bruins -1.5 easily on Wednesday. So there we're sitting there up $240, and then we give about $600 back yesterday in NHL, and it's irritating. It's very, very, very irritating. Nutflush Allen says you should have seen the look the cashier gave me just because I have the show on at Ralph's grocery store. Nice work, Nutflush Allen, taking us with them. All right, let's get after it right now. And there is Danny Menlo in the house. Thank you for joining us, Danny. Okay, Penguins -1. I came close to taking it -1.5. I actually thought of Dan Kelly when I decided not to. Let me just pull up this odds page right now. I thought very closely of Dan Kelly when I decided to not do it, to stick with the -1s, which is something that he's wanted me to do this year, incorporate that into my capping Here we go. This spot, Montreal, Pittsburgh, this total opened up at 6. It's down to 5.5, and I understand why it's gone down to 5.5. But I am interested in when this Pittsburgh team is going to start rolling with Zucker in the lineup. They just traded for Jason Zucker. Pittsburgh opening up at minus 199 and 198. At Pinnacle, they're now minus 177. So there's been a 21-cent move towards these Montreal Canadiens. There's Jay Honey in the chat. Jay Honey not liking the show. Okay, thank you, Jay Honey. Thank you, Jay Honey. Okay, let's keep rolling here. Zucker appeared in the second game with the Pens, on Friday. They pick him up from the Minnesota Wild. They give up Galchenyuk, the perennial underachiever, the minor league defenseman Kalen Addison, and a conditional first-round draft pick. Zucker, 14 goals, 29 points in 45 games. Jay Honey, you don't think this has anything to do with no NBA and only 4 games and a small college basketball card? You don't think so? Okay, Jay Honey. Much love to you, though. Zucker, 14 goals, 29 points in 45 games, but he's a speedster. He's going to work with this Pens team. Habs coming off 4-1 loss at the Bruins on Wednesday. This Shea Weber injury hurts them enormously because what do we know about the Habs? Their penalty killing is weak at 79.3%. Their power play is average. Without Weber, it's awful. I think the Penguins will take care of business here. I probably should have taken the minus 1.5. I did not. I took the minus 1. I got minus 175 at 5 dimes, and I got minus 1.5 at plus 140 at Pinnacle. There we go. AM says Wild fired Bruce Boudreau. Wow, that was wild. That was absolutely wild. I did not know that. That is a big firing. Last night bothered me so much. I thought I was in control there. Wow. Very, very interesting. Thank you for the news there. All right, I'm on the Penguins minus 1. Let's move into our next spot, that being Rangers, Blue Jackets. I think these Blue Jackets are no longer going to be the under team without Seth Jones. They may not even be a team we want to bet on without Seth Jones. Seth Jones will be a Norris Trophy nominee every year for the rest of his career. He is that special. He is that special of a hockey player. And now he's gone. And Columbus goes from minus 125 to minus 146. This total sitting at 5.5. Do you guys know if it's Shesterkin or Lundqvist in net? I would love to know if it's Shesterkin or Lundqvist in goal. Let me know if you guys know who will be in net for the Rangers. If it is Lundqvist, I'd be interested in taking that over. I don't think these unders are going to be cashing like they have been with the Jackets without Seth Jones. We already talked about that. There's Mark Unkefer in the chat. Play of the day, Marist minus 2.5. Going to copy and paste that right now. Let's grab this right now and book it. All right, copy and paste. Mark Unkefer, play of the day. Lock it in, and we have done that. We have locked it in. All right. I can understand why someone would want the Rangers at this plus price. They're going for an unbeaten 3-game road trip. They're trying to make a run for the playoffs. They're so far out of it. They're trying to keep Chris Kreider on the team. They know that there's nice pieces on this Ranger squad that will be traded at the deadline. So they win 4-1 at LA and at home against Winnipeg. And then on Thursday, Rangers overcome a 2-goal deficit for this 4-3 shootout victory. It was very impressive. Zibanejad rolling, Panarin rolling. Blue Jackets 9-1-3 in their last 13 games, but they're a fade team. They are a fade team moving forward without Seth Jones, but I'm going to stay off of There's Captain 24/7 joining us. Nice to see you. So you take Seth Jones, you take Cam Atkinson off of the Blue Jackets. I want nothing to do with them. All right, so I'm off that. I am interested in the over. And I know that Boston Nickenhouse, he's been cashing with those Grand Salami unders. There's Ron Lofton ready to go. Love seeing Maxwell Smart in the chat. Thank you for joining us, Max. Gokster, is it Shesterkin? Do we know if it's Shesty in the lineup? I would love to know who is there. There's EJV joining us. Much love, EJV. All right, I'm on the Jets minus 1. I got that at plus 111. That's a money line of minus 145, a puck line at plus 171. There's AII Straglife. Thank you for joining us, II Straglife. Love it. All right, it's Aaron Dell versus Connor Hellebuck. The Sharks are a fade, and Tuesday's loss does not tell the story of what the Jets have been doing lately. That was their 5th game in 8 days. They were a very tired group. This is exactly, and you guys have known this over the 3 years now that we've worked together in NHL, 4th game of a 6-game homestand. That is when I want to back a team. There's my guy Juan Ruiz in the house. Dylan Turner ready to go. Paco Healy says Vegas 4-4 on their power plays last night. Looked like a completely different team at home lately. Look, I'm very close to making futures on Vegas, and then I stop, and then I get closer, and then I stop. It's just been happening for a long time. I still haven't done it. Okay, let's talk about this Jet squad. 74.8% penalty kill. The Sharks no longer have Couture. I know that they have Burns and Carlson on the point. Their power play should be good, but it's not that good, and they can't take advantage of the Jets' weak penalty killing. The Sharks look terrible in that 6-2 loss to the Calgary Flames. I don't like fading a team after they lose that badly, but Winnipeg also lost, and it's not a sign of how they're playing. They outshot the Rangers 44-32. I expect them to take care of business. I expect Hellebuck to have a good game. Let's see what we're dealing with Winnipeg right now. Open at -150, now -146. So I doubled up on the spot. I also took the under 6.5. I know that the Sharks are coming off a game where they've allowed 6 goals. And I may be wrong with this because their goaltending is so weak. But without Couture, without Timo Meier, I see them as being an under team moving forward. I see us cashing unders with them. And I'm going to give it another shot. So I took the under 6.5. I got that at -110 at 5 dimes. Let's see what we're dealing with right now. The under 6.5 is now -115 at 5 dimes, and bookmakers moved it to 6. So if you want the under 6.5 in Sharks Winnipeg, get on it now. Those are going to be 6s very, very soon. And Steve Priest saying Domingue confirmed in goal for the Devils. Let's get into that game next. So there's my first 2 looks. 3 really, because I doubled up on the Sharks-Jets game. I'm on the Jets -1, the Penguins -1, and the under 6.5 in Sharks-Jets. And there is our Maxwell Smart. He's backing Monmouth. He's backing Princeton and St. Peter's first half and full game. Thank you for sharing that with us. And we got AM Barbecue Sauce. Did he play today? Turkey, Superliga, Istanbul, Bakashir, Moneyline. I'm going to copy and paste both of those right now. Copy and paste both of those. So remember, if you want that Sharks-Jets under, and I do think we could be ahead of the market here taking unders with Sharks games. Now, I've thought that for about a week and a half, and there's Bob Ruby, and I was saying love that under. I've thought that for maybe 2 weeks, and it hasn't been coming to fruition, so I'm either ahead of the market or fucking wrong. We shall see. Rod Zawacki's got a 3-team college basketball look. Monmouth, Moneyline, Davidson, Moneyline, and Buffalo, Moneyline. I'm going to copy and paste that right now. Copy and paste it. Copy and paste that right now. Okay, let's keep rolling. Mr. Ghost says Sharks are such a poor team. And yes, the taint play is out, Dylan Turner. The taint play of the day is St. Peter's. It's St. Peter's, and you are getting and Max Smart doubling up on St. Peter's. Valentine taint St. Peter's -5.5. There's my guy Ixnizzle 420 in the house. I'm getting pumped up just thinking about Tim Steeves sitting beside me here in a few short minutes. Let's cap this 4th and final game on this NHL card, this light NHL card. Devils Hurricanes. So we know Louis Domingue is going to be in goal. So first thing we see is that .882 save percentage, 3.74 goals against average. And the Canes are starting so slow. They're coming off another loss Tuesday night 4-1 at Dallas. Now we're starting to see how good Dallas is, and we should probably start looking at futures for Dallas right now. Maybe this isn't the best time to hammer them after they looked so good against the Leafs, but they're certainly looking like a team that should be back, these Dallas Stars. While I'm here on Bet365, I want to just take a quick look at what we'd be dealing with if we were to take Dallas Stars. Let's go to focus on winning the West. It's so vulnerable. Dallas Stars +500 to win the West. God, that's appealing. That's a very, very appealing look. I think I might be making this a move here. Dallas +500 to win the West. They just look like such a complete hockey team. I guess we need to know how long Radulov is out. I'm not going to make that an official play yet. I'm very close to making that a move. There's Jansen Bonson in the house. Thank you for joining us, Jansen. Okay, let's talk about this last spot here on the card. Devils, Hurricanes. Mrazek expected to be in goal. He's not being very good this year. .900 save percentage all year long. Canes, 21.9% power play. 82.3% penalty killing. Devils, special teams aren't that bad. They're not that bad of a hockey team. They're not that bad of a hockey team unless you look at their record. If you look at their road record, 12-15-0 on the road. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad. Carolina expecting to get Martinook back. Carolina looks like it's going to cost me future bets right now unless they get on a run. I mean, they're not even into the playoffs at this point. Steve Priest says, I thought you didn't like those flakes on Dallas. I don't like them. but I like their defense. I like Heiskanen. I'm not just going to pull the trigger here, but I'm close to. I need to think about it a little more. Mr. Gokster says 5-4 game here. It's tough to trust Domingue. This total opened at 6. Pinnacle's already moved it to 6.5. Look at that. That's a good call, Gokster, that you like the over there. Devils could get Nico Hischier back in the lineup. I came close to making a move on the Hurricanes. I came close. I knew there would be a market move towards them as soon as Domingue was announced for sure, because Blackwood's been spectacular lately. I'm just hesitant. Rodswack says Mrazek's birthday day, he gets the win. Lamont Williams has locked in his, there's my guy, Sportsman of the Year. Lucky Lefty says, me and Tata sitting in Dover Downs Casino, sipping on some Henny. Oh, man. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining us, Tata and Sportsman of the Year. Man, I love you guys. God, I wish I was sitting right beside you guys sipping on that Henny with you. I am in a bar, so we might be able to make that happen pretty quick here. Lamont's 2-team parlays in. Marist moneyline and Ryder full game under 147.5. That's our guy, Lamont Williams, 2-team parlay, max bet. Let's copy and paste that right now. I'm hesitant to take the Hurricanes' first game back, but would I be surprised if they beat up on the Devils and beat up on Domingue? Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all. These 3 home teams, other than the Columbus Rangers game, look strong. They look strong. Let's see what I'd be getting if I did take the Canes. God, it's even money. Look, I'm not going to do it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they take care of business. Rod Zawacki naming him Dumbingo in net for the Devils. Mr. Gokster says, Jimmy, we need to cap horses again. Don't worry, Gokster. We'll be doing a lot of that now that I'm back in North America. I promise you. We'll be doing a ton of that. Not applicable leaning Canes. Yeah, I just I don't want to make a move on it. We're going to have Tim Steeves joining us here in 5 minutes. Incredible stand-up comedian, incredible comedy writer, and heavy poker player. Zero Joke Steeves in the house, going to be hanging with us. And I shouldn't, zero jokes. I would say zero jokes because he's so mean and lean on the poker table. But he's got tons of jokes all the time, so zero jokes doesn't really work. Jonah says, last night killed my bank. Any best bets tonight? We've had a lot of them coming in, Jonah. We got a lot of them coming in, and I'll go over them. Shortly. Quickly, Valentine's Taint, St. Peter's -5.5. Shaquille Bell play of the day, Davidson +4, and Davidson money line at +160. Mark Unka for play of the day, Marist -2.5. And Maxwell Smart is first half full gaming Monmouth, Princeton, and St. Peter's. All right, I'm going to jump in on the tape play of the day. St. Peter's, we're on the best odds page in the universe, sportsbookreview.com, SBR odds page. I'm going to move over to NCAA basketball right now, and I'm going to grab this spot here. We're going to take a good look at St. Peter's, down to 5. Money coming in on Quinnipiac. God, I thought they were going to get right a little while ago. They have not. -5 and -102. That's available at Pinnacle. I am in. All right. I'm going with the Valentine's Taint. St. Peter's -5, -102. I'm in for Valentine's Day Taint. Primetime DJs says Wild just fired the coach. Yeah, they've been very, very, very disappointing. Extremely disappointing. Extremely disappointing. We are now in the NBA All-Star break. I'm waiting for the 3-point competition numbers to come up. I'm waiting very patiently. I would like to take Devin Booker badly. It's still not up. All we got is the Rising Stars, World All-Stars versus USA All-Stars, which I don't really care about. So I'm not making a move there. But I will be taking Devin Booker to win the 3-point competition as soon as I can. That will be a look for me as soon as I can. My action, Penguins -1 and -115, and I doubled up on the Sharks game. I'm taking the under 6.5 and Jets -1 at +111. Sportsman of the Year said, what happened with St. Louis Blues last night? That hurt my feelings. What happened to Minnesota Wild hurt my feelings. I stayed off of that Blues game, dealing with the cardiac situation with Bo Meester and the dads on the trip. It was just a tricky game to make moves on. Carlos Perot says, extra licking of the taint tonight. Be careful. Ron Crawford spreadsheet plays 1 and 2 yesterday. It was a tough day yesterday. Today he's on Winnipeg and Pittsburgh. So I am on those spreadsheet plays. DX Father says, Blues hurt my feelings and my bankroll. Yeah, that's just a tricky cap. All right. That is our card today. Just 4 NHL games on the slate. We've heard what Max is doubling up on. We've heard the Taint play of the day. You've seen my NHL looks. Now, without further ado, welcome to Sportsbook Review. This is the Jimmy the Bag Show, and it is my absolute pleasure to bring on our guest comedian, writer for the Rick Mercer Report, and this hour has 22 minutes, one of the top comics in the country, headlining the Toronto Yuck Yucks here in 2 weeks. Tim Steeves in the house. Tim, thank you for joining us, my man.
Thank you, buddy.
Good to see you.
Thank you, man. How are you?
I'm good. What do you think of the new digs here, Dog and Bear?
Oh, this is awesome, Jimbo Baggins, man. This is awesome.
Thank you, buddy.
I'm excited.
Thank you for joining us. It is exciting to have you here. I could talk about your Gemini Awards. I could talk about a lot of different things. They are starting to learn what our Canadian award system is.
They're called the Canadian Screen Awards now.
Yes,
Those Geminis are from before, and I've won a couple of CSAs since then. So we're trying to keep it up to date, But that was all. I was John Paxson on all those, right? I was on good teams, hit a jumper once in a while. You know what I mean?
Speaking of jumper, I learned that you were co-captain of the 1984 New Brunswick AA high school.
Now we're talking AA provincial champs. We cut the nets back in '84, man. My high school coach came to me. I'll never forget this. Started grade 12th grade, as they say in the States.
Sure.
And he said to me, Tim, I'm going to make you co-captain, and I hope that you never do anything to make me regret that decision, right? Which was his brilliant way of getting me through high school clean, right? He said, if I put the C on this guy, then he'll have to keep going to class and not fuck up, right?
Yeah,
so he really just said, okay, here's your ticket to graduating, idiot.
And you did it.
And we did, and we cut the nets. It was great, You never forget that, your glory days, baby.
Yeah, I get it. Nice work. 1984 New Brunswick.
I appreciate you bringing it up. You went deep into the bio for that one.
I did.
You know what's funny? Little sidebar. My co-captain, my buddy Mark Forsyth, was my co-captain, and I'm pretty positive it's his wife who updates my
Wikipedia?
My Wikipedia with that. Because Forsyth's got a mention in there.
Yeah,
and I know, I'm pretty sure.
It's a mention, I should say. Yeah. Brian Watson coming in saying Rick Mercer was a great show. It was. And you were on it for how many years?
The whole spin, man. The whole spin, 15 seasons. Which, we didn't have any idea we were locked in for that. We thought this will be great. Rick's amazing. We'll have a little run here. And then, oh my God, right? But just awesome team and just amazing to be part of that.
Mr. Gokster saw you in Vegas. I've gone to Vegas with you. I know that you are a heavy poker player. I'm looking forward to talk.
Oh, I love
a little
the grind.
Poker player.
Love the grind.
You are fresh off a big score yourself about just 48 hours ago.
Just
almost?
2 nights ago, buddy.
Big score.
Two nights ago, I took one down. Yeah.
And I also know that you drink at a classy level, a much classier level than I do. I drink. Rob calls it warm piss.
What's your brand of piss?
You know what is Kamchatka vodka. I drink the shittiest liquor. I just want to drink a lot of it, and I don't care about the headache the next day.
Right.
But I know you drink the classy stuff. So, Steve, do you mind grabbing us a couple Johnny Walker Blacks? Let's get a couple Johnny Walker Blacks. Let's get them neat. Let's get them over here.
You've done the bio research.
I have. Well, I'm sad at your poker game. I've watched you do.
Yeah. Well, you know what I did? True story. I did dry January.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Nice.
Didn't miss. And what I forgot was January was the month with 2 extra weeks. I should have factored that in, but got through it. But now we're in February. So
we are in February. And look who we got here. Wow. We got some legendary comedians joining us. Brent Butt.
No way.
Butsky's
in the house.
The Butt Pod,
wow.
Brent Butt, Star Corner Gas in our chat right now. What a treat it is. Not Applicable says Jimmy drinks from a bucket. That's what Not Applicable says. I love it. Ron Fig says Johnny Walker, get the blue. Come on, let's just slowly.
Easy.
That's
not a price point we're hitting today.
All right, let's start talking poker. And Tim, let me first say I'm so excited to have you on the show, man.
Cheers.
This is a treat. Okay, let's start. We got a bunch of different poker questions we're going to talk. We're going to talk poker for a little while.
Sure.
Let's start with who you think are the best poker players in the world right now.
Well, first of all, tournament and cash, of course, 2 different animals.
Absolutely. We'll discuss some of that.
Yeah. So tournament, the best tournament players in the world generally aren't the same group of people that are the best cash game, although there's lots of crossover and lots of people that are cash specialists win tournaments and vice versa, right? Obviously. especially in the pro
Look at
ranks.
this, our guy Canascat coming in. Look at that.
Sexy.
Thank you. There's Canascat, the low bagger right there. Thank you.
God.
Episode 3, Jimmy the Bag Show. Thank you for being a part of it, my friend.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, that's much
now
nicer.
You see how that is better than your come chuck and come on me vodka?
I don't know how much semen is in it.
Come chuck me vodka. This is
delicious. This is
Isn't
delicious.
that nice? It just becomes part of you,
it is,
right? It's already part of your
already
insides.
Part of my insides, yes. And,
so nice.
And shout out to the dog and bear for locking us down here.
But
all right.
Really, back to your question real quick. The best players in the world are, it's more like a golf scenario where there's probably a group of a couple hundred on a given week that are playing the hottest right now, right?
Sure.
And it's similar to a golf tournament. When you see several hundred players go into a thing, it's sort of like a golf tournament. So it would be like saying who's the best golfer in the world right now, and there is no Tiger in poker necessarily. There isn't really one. So it's like week to week who's running hot and stuff, but there's definitely I would say 150, a couple of hundred, maybe even 500 players that are the best in the world. That group, there's a group, Yeah. Like I'm a rec, what they call a rec. I'm a recreational grinder, amateur. They would see me coming a mile away with my, amateur. Like they can spot someone who's a pro from a rec player just instantly, right?
Yeah.
And the only thing that I get away with is I can see them too. So, but I pride myself on being able to know where I'm at in the pecking order. If you're sitting at a full-handed, let's say 9 or 10-handed game, you should know if you're the 8th or 9th player and get the hell out of there, right?
Well, you've played they're asking if you've played in the World Series of Poker. You have played.
Yeah, I've played in 4 $1,500, 3 1,500 events and 1,000, which basically the pros call those donkiments, right? Because they're filled with cats like me who are coming in on their tourist bankroll and just doing it for the bucket list, which is what I did. I wanted to get that experience of playing inside the ropes, and I sat beside lots of pros that you see on TV and stuff, and you can't replace. That's worth the 15 honey to get that experience. Because after I played a couple of events that summer, this is 2009, 2010 prices, I went over and played 2-5 and ripped the cash game a new one. Like for weeks and weeks after that, I profited in cash because I was just relentless after playing with those pros. In tournament, you're so precious with that stack that is a freeze out stack. When you get back to a cash game and you're just like, you're just dying to rip some chips in there, and you just become way more aggressive and stuff. That's how it worked for me. Now, again, that's 2009, 2010. Geez, now everyone's read the same book. Everyone watches the same vlogs and stuff. So everyone's good now, basically. Long story short, the average player is way better than the average player was 10 years ago. The game is obviously just way harder. You have to sit down with more of a, I'm going to do this. I used to get off the plane in Vegas just re-raising on the tarmac, and it was an ATM. It was just a joke. You start getting drunk and re-raise everybody and just win all day. And now it's like, no. Everybody, that old lady clutching her pearls can play, man. She's going to re-raise your ass,
No, I feel that. We got a lot of poker players in our chat. We also have Peter Anthony, great comedian, who jumped in our chat. He's just back from Vegas. He's great on the felt as well. Well, let's talk about the difference between tournament and cash games and what you prefer. Personally, you know me, I want all the money up for grabs every hand.
You want those chips to mean cash.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and I appreciate that. If you're going to Vegas for a 3-nighter, tournaments are hard, because if you're you grind 5 or 6 hours at the Venetian in some $150 event and you bust on the bubble, you're gonna hate your guts. You're gonna be leaving there having grinded for 6 or 7 hours with nothing to show for it. So if I go to Vegas for a short stay, I'm probably playing cash.
What happens to me, and tell me what you think about this psychologically, because at least I know what happens to me now, is I don't like the 3-day trips. Mm-hmm. I like the longer ones.
Me too.
I like the longer ones. But what happens to me, I like a 7-day trip. What happens to me, first 3.5 days, I'm an animal.
Right.
I'm a fucking animal. I buy in for the max. Now, I only go 1-2 generally, so I just 300 buy in max.
Yeah.
I buy in for the max every time. We new spot every few hours if we want, or stay for 15, 16 hours. I've watched you put in the 16, 20 hours. But something happens to me on the last 3.5 days when I'm starting to think about how much money I'm bringing home.
Yeah.
And because of that, my cash game gets weaker. So now that I know that, the first 3.5 days are cash games, the last 3.5 days are tournaments.
Sure.
Because then I can have a set amount of money.
Well, that's a great play because you've won enough money, hopefully, in the cash to play free rolls, right? And you're playing with the house money for your entry fees. So I would say that's a great play. If you can afford to go to Vegas for 7 days, that's a great way to do it. And grind. The main thing is grind on the cash. And don't party too hard in the cash for the first couple of days so that you can just grind your way up. Don't make it sexy. It doesn't have to be fancy. The great thing about going to Vegas, like a lot of us know, that if you go to your local casino, wherever you play, wherever you're from, and you've got a casino within 100 miles of wherever you live, chances are that place is full of grinders. It's a tough go, like the Falls or those casinos outside Vancouver are really tough.
And the reason why we think they're so tough, tell me what you think of this, is because of the amount of Asian grinders we have. They're there all day, every day.
I don't want to put too fine a point on it, but Asian grinders are gonna really. Well, no, here's the thing: if you walk, and everyone knows that, all your guys who and ladies who play a lot of poker know this already, but it's obvious. If you're gonna try to pick a game to sit down at, that's the first good decision. Is what property do I want to be at? What table do I want to sit at, right? And if you see a bunch of people watching a movie on their device with their earbuds in, then that's not a game you want. If you see somebody ordering drinks and laughing and they're partying and they're punching their buddy across the side of the sit at that game. I mean, obviously.
But
right?
In Vancouver and in even if you want to go a little bit south into Seattle, Tualaip Casino, all that stuff, there's an enormous amount of Asian poker players, and they're strong players, they're tight players. Some of them are wild, no doubt, but
sure,
you'll sit at a table that's full. It's the whole table are these Asian grinders, and they see you and they're like, I know I'm gonna take Honky's cash.
I'm taking Whitey's money.
I'm taking Whitey's money, and they're
not to put too fine a point on it. But,
no, but
I'll stop you when you start lying.
Well, yeah. So that's why they say that
we're not going to switch this to the golf course. I hope.
The Pacific Northwest is the toughest place to play poker. They say. At least they were saying that when we were.
No, I've seen that firsthand. The few times I've dipped a toe in the Vancouver scene, it's incredibly tough and grindy, and it's nowhere to go to earn the rent. That's for sure. Sure, man. That's why Vegas is great, because at least in Vegas you can always find a loose game if you're willing to move around a little bit.
Yeah.
And my buddy Garth Daisy taught me that can't be growing roots. Can't be growing roots. You got to move around if the game isn't treating you good.
Exactly. And I've gone to Vegas with Garth a few times, and I love the idea of, and you're so good about it too. Like I watch you do 16-hour, 20-hour sessions. Well, sometimes we leave you at 3 a.m, and then when we come back at 9 or 10 a.m, you're still hammering these guys.
One of my favorite things to do is to last so long that you go through a break of like the type of guys you're playing with. So you play with the midnight guys, then you play with the guys who got out of the clubs at 3 a.m, and then they start to drift off at 7 a.m, and then guys come in freshly showered around 9, and you're ready to take on the breakfast crowd, and it's fun. But I have had I've had the pit boss come over to me once and say, "Okay, man, I've gone on and off shift twice. We're putting you in a cab." And I couldn't argue. You're like, okay, it's Sunday. I started on Friday. Let's get out of here, man.
I love it. I love it. Well, so what's your favorite Vegas poker room?
Well, I mean, the Bellagio, just. Straight first answer is the Bellagio, because why wouldn't you want it? Like if you're gonna go, if you've never been before, then you got to just go to the Bellagio, knock that off the list. We could probably. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing. No. It's cold out there.
It's freezing.
Bellagio, of course. Do that. Knock that off your list if you haven't done it. But if you're going to go play some 1-2, buckle my shoe, and you just want to get in a spot to make some money, the MGM, baby. That room is user friendly for the recreational players. The pros don't mess with it because it's too low stakes. They rarely spread 2-5 there. So if they never have 2-5, hardly ever, then the pros, you just don't see any pros or semi-pros in there, which is what you want. That's a good starting place. Right, it's mostly just a big tourist room, and they're friendly to the tourist dollar in there. It's a good place.
MGM Grand, it's not even a nice poker room. And
no, it's a shitty room.
The Caesars poker room, now that it moved out, when it was inside, I loved it, and I pulled it out now beside the Sportsbook. It's not even that nice either. And so when I'm in those kind of poker rooms, I'm ready to fucking attack. But when I'm in the Bellagio, I have a problem where thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. I have a problem where next thing I know, I'm getting a massage.
Right.
Like I'm just.
And they're bringing you a carrot juice and
I'm just being. I'm not. And then when you're, I'm looking around. I'm like, I lose that. I'm gonna.
the edge a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet in there.
Yeah.
It's really nice. But I mean, the cool thing about the Bellagio is you can run into any kind of poker animal in the jungle in there, which is really cool. Or if you get seated near Bobby's room, you can gawk in there and watch them play, 1,000, 2,000 no limit and watch Jennifer Harmon rip somebody from a band, from all their money. You always see like 5 or 6 pros that you recognize. It'd be Jen Harmon, maybe the old band Dolly, and then one guy with, all the hair and neck tattoos, and you go, oh, somebody's playing the main room at the Hard Rock is about to lose $250,000. Yeah. Wow. There's always one unknown fish that has 200,000 in there. It's like, I'd love to just go in and watch, right? But they won't even let you. Yeah. You go for a piss, they won't even let you pause at the window. Yeah. Keep it moving, asshole.
Well, let's talk about the current events in poker right now, and that's cheating. Cheating in poker. So,
wow.
We know. You go back to the beginnings of poker, Wild West type shit, cheating type shit. People.
The game started like it was developed off a game in France called Poke, Poque, and Poke is this real, really aggressive kind of ruthless game. But poker put bluffing into it, so they took Poke and then they added bluffing, and that sort of became poker. And of course, cheating was how you played for the first. A few decades, right? And then it went away, right? Then we got the casino and all the cameras, and it's 100% legit for decades and decades and decades. And now, last year, this dude Mike Postle found a way to cheat on a live stream, playing pretty heavy stakes against people that he would call his friends. Yeah. And he did it for, I think it's like over a year, and he basically was getting the whole cards in real time and on his phone somehow. So Joey Ingram's feed is there's a poker pro, Joey Ingram, and he did the deep dive, like a JFK assassination investigation. So if you want to take a deep dive into this, go to Joey Ingram's his channel, and he goes deep. But the live stream videos of Postle cheating are so, you can't argue. Like, you can't argue with this. Is like, he can't lay that hand down. You know what I mean? There's so many spots where you go, no, he just cannot get away from that. That's impossible, right? Yeah. Or how is he re-raising on the river with a pair of threes and a queen, king, jack on the board? Getting value out of his nines now suddenly, stuff like that. I can't even do it justice, how out of bounds it was. So that's all going to the courts. There's a whole bunch of people suing him, of course. All the cats that ever lost money to him have lawyered up. And
well, what do you think? I mean, you can compare that to what we saw from the journeyman cyclist that Lance Armstrong beat so that they couldn't have a career, or the journeyman pitcher who had his signals stolen by the Astros that got lit up and now doesn't have a contract. I mean, how it's a gray area. Cheating as a whole is a gray area, and I
think it'd be funny if. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
I think it'd be funny if Postle used the Astros press conference and just put his face on dude, because that's about how much of a leg he has to stand on. And Postle could say, "I'm not sure me knowing what your cards were had any effect on the outcome of the game."
Well, we are the World Series champions of 2017. Ron Fig, our guy Ron Fig, a low bagger. He works. He's in Vegas, and next time we all go down, we'll roll with Fig, and he has to count cards so he can recognize it and stop it. That's more from a blackjack standpoint. But let's go into this sign stealing fiasco. So I had Kenny Robinson on yesterday. And Kenny's like, they've been stealing signs for 100 years. Yeah,
I was watching Kenny, and I mean, Kenny's making a good point, but at the same time, this is beyond. Now we're through the looking glass now. I mean, with this crap, and
don't touch the jersey.
Right, I got the new Altuve jersey. It's just triple stitching up the front where the buttons are supposed to be, and then a USB port out the ass. which is nice. A little extra. He might as well a USB port at the back so he can keep his shit plugged in. He might as well.
Oh man, Maxwell Smart, he's our NCAA expert, and he was so brokenhearted because Altuve for small men everywhere inspired everybody.
Sure.
MVP.
No. Everybody under 6 feet loves Altuve.
Everyone under 5'6".
Yeah.
Forget 6 feet. I don't give a fuck about Altuve.
But this is just there's your poster kits for your bedroom.
Now that's so tainted, and I hate that tainted is a negative word because our taint play today is such a.
I know taint is getting used too much. I used to like to say, well, that trumps this, and now you can't. That's no fun anymore. You can't even.
You can't use Trump.
No.
Okay. So
any other good poker questions we haven't touched on?
There's more poker questions, but I want to get into some other stuff now that we've moved into other sports. One is Major League Baseball. We're talking about the sign stealing fiasco. What we have not talked about is marijuana is now off the banned substance list.
Amen, right? Because they're so quick to throw opioids down everyone's neck or shoot you in the ass with, and this is just great news for everybody. I mean, not even the guys that are just injured, but the emotional stress of a long season and stuff, and just being able to get some sleep. I mean, that's the main thing, man. Is just to be able to get down at the end of a day of
exactly.
You go 3 for 4 on the road, and you go out for a steak, and then you're trying to be able to get to sleep before 4 in the morning.
And you're not supposed to drink these delicious beverages.
Right? How do you? You're on the smooth sauce. It's no good. You're not doing 182 games on this shit.
No. So what you need to do is just smoke a little bit, or take some CBD or something like that. A little
CBD, you know me, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, right, a little CBD. Maybe the blue with the little THC in there is nice. Just it gives you a little extra. Hey, things aren't so bad, right? Because the CBD will calm the nerves, and then the little bit of blue in there. You go, you know what? And I might be able to make it after all. Like that. Like just a little feeling of
a little hope,
because it's hard out there, man.
Yeah,
it's hard out there.
And that's what we've noticed in life is that it doesn't matter if you're making $6 million a year.
No, if we've learned anything, being rich and famous or not isn't the connection, right?
And having money or not, and
that doesn't have anything to do with your happiness, obviously, man.
And that's everybody thinks that that's everything about happiness, and I should say everybody. That's that's an important.
Happiness is about you inside, how you handle your own.
Oh, that tastes nice. Speaking of baseball players, our very own Reese McGuire.
Reese McGuire was reaching. He was reaching. He was calling for the deuce. Give him the deuce, Jimmy.
Toronto Blue Jays pitcher Reese McGuire just got busted for exposing his genitals. That's about the nicest way you can say that.
Well, the first headline I saw was for showing sexual organs.
Oh.
For showing sex. It sounded like he was running around town with a jar of stuff or something. Yeah. Showing sexual organs.
I haven't heard the showing
like
sexual
Mr.
organs.
Hand from Fast Times.
Exposing his genitals.
Yes, exposing the genitals.
Yeah.
He was jerking off in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Can't you get home? Like, I jerk off as much as the next guy.
Oh, I jerk off way more than the next guy.
Maybe not if he's the next guy. I don't know.
Oh, you're right. But, here's a guy we talk about that cash doesn't equate to happiness.
No.
Here's a guy, no.
You can own the Patriots and need to go to get a $75 tug job. We found out.
A very quiet tug job, which, I don't think there's anything wrong with what he was doing. He's a widower.
Yeah.
What do you think of that situation with Kraft? Because Kraft,
I thought that's his own business, and everyone needs to fuck off a little bit.
But Kraft's got to man up and be like, "Yeah, look,
that's
look
what
how old
he should have stood on it like a rock." That's right. He should have just stood on it.
And I like to be blown. And my wife died 6 years ago. What do you have to say now?
Right. What I would say that you're a gazillionaire and get a better blowjob.
Yeah.
Get a Johnny Black of blowjobs instead. He was in getting the Kamchatka fucking vodka.
Kamchatka, taka.
I love that the surveillance tapes showed that he was in and out in like 14 minutes. So he's an efficient client. He's no trouble to anyone. Yeah. He didn't even finish his parking. He paid for an hour of parking.
I think though what we found in life is if you do something wrong, regardless of the scope or extreme of what you've done wrong, you have to say, yes, I did it.
That's right. That's probably your best play, no matter what it is.
No matter what it is, no matter how extreme it is, the smaller to the
But in
worst.
this case, he really could have just said, it's embarrassing. And I'm not proud to say, but I've been a widower for 6 years, and now and then I'll go visit somewhere to get a little tension release.
Now and then.
Is it legal, though? Was that a legal scenario? What's the Florida? It's Florida.
Yeah.
Was it a bit of an illegal
I don't know.
scenario?
We got Boston Nick, a.k.a. Mr. Fatfist. He's in Miami. He would tell us if it was legal. Is that
What's
legal?
up, Fat Fist?
Is it legal what he did there? And he says Kraft deserves to get his rocks off. I agree. He deserves to get,
See, now, what everyone always says, though, Joe Blow, right? As Joe Blow were running around, he's speculating. I would say, why doesn't he go to Vegas and get the penthouse and do it up, right? And spend a few grand and make it nice. I guess he doesn't care. He's 14-minute man.
Yeah.
Right? $75. I'm in, I'm out.
In and out. What's wrong with that? Nothing.
They probably have very attractive employees at that place, That's probably what he'd come back at me with.
Yeah, I hope he would, but I find that pretty difficult.
No, he's probably got a wide starting hand range, right? He can play Jack 7 offsuit at his age.
Yeah, you're right.
He doesn't need pocket queens anymore.
No, 14-minute man. Okay. Let's move on to NHL. You're a good Canadian kid.
Sure.
I know you know all. You played hockey, know hockey. We're seeing an abundance of goals, new goals.
Yeah.
New goals that we never saw before.
We're getting a lot of new fancy shit.
Lacrosse style.
I like the lacrosse thing. And then a lot of the between the legs now is like every night.
Why
right?
do you think this is happening? These pretty goals.
Oh, we don't have any enforcers left, right? We wouldn't, there was a reason why we didn't see that shit in the 70s. It's not like the boys in the 70s couldn't do that. But that was frowned upon.
Go in the late 50s. You think Stan Mikita couldn't flip it up on the
Yeah,
stick?
you don't think Mikita could have done that bullshit all day long? But no, there was a code of ethics, and
So what do you think about the no enforcers in the NHL anymore? My goaltender for the main years of my hockey career, Brent Lown, out in Vancouver, he just showed me a picture of him when the Sedins had their jerseys retired just 4 nights ago.
Yeah.
He's sitting there, he's having dinner. It's just Brent and Gino Ojic having dinner. And God, Gino Ojic. I mean, I was there in the Pacific Coliseum when we're chanting Gino all the time. Gino. We want him out there kicking ass. Now he does not look very good. He looks
right.
He does not look good. And I don't want to talk about exactly why he doesn't look very good. We can move into that. But there's no enforcers in the NHL, and it has to do with these guys suffering.
100%. And that's why I'm of two minds on it. But I don't think we should go back to you're hired only to do that. I don't think that's good for anyone, man. And I don't like that. You're 6'4" and you can throw the mitts, and if not for that, you wouldn't be in the league. Then probably shouldn't be in the league, right?
Yeah.
Now, having said that, I think the Leafs could use a guy that could at least ragdoll someone once in a while. I think there's still a toughness angle.
The Canucks.
Yeah.
They signed Furland to protect Pedersen and Besser. He's already got concussion issues. I rallied against the signing. He's been out for last 25 games with a concussion. I mean, he's always going to have these concussions.
Right.
Zach Kassian, he dummies Kachuk a couple weeks ago, and all the old NHL guys love it.
Right.
But what happened? He got a double minor and a misconduct, and the Flames went on the power play and won the game.
Right.
So Kachuk wins.
Right. And, I don't think that they're not building rosters with that in mind. It's like an afterthought almost, right? Which is weird when you've got guys like Matthews and McDavid running around out there that they need someone to have their back some nights,
They do, and Paco Healy says Reeves is a beast, and he's doing it the best for me but Cassian's doing it very well as well. But Cassian can't be trusted, and it's not the Dumb and Dumber chip on his tooth. Like I can't trust him. He kicked the guy in the chest last night.
Like, you know what I mean?
He kicked the guy in the fucking chest last night.
That was
you can't have that guy on your hockey team.
Oh my God.
You just can't. But Reeves does it really well. It's Dave Burke, a fellow comedian of ours.
Sure.
But he doesn't care about what we're talking about. He needs to know if you had a free $100 play, what would it be today? He's trying to get a little bit of action out of you right now.
Like right now, like $100 to blow right now. What are we doing? Where are we going?
Burke doesn't care about our conversation. He's like, look, can Tim put some pocket money in
do this? Well, Let's
It's
talk.
tough.
What are we doing?
I
made some money thanks to Jimbo on Monday. I went Bruins cover.
Yeah, Bruins.
Boom.
Yeah,
Bruins
Bruins
cover,
took
no
care
problem.
of business. That's it. I'm fading the Habs again tonight with the Penguins, but we don't want to talk. I don't want to talk current events. We only have a couple minutes left. You're a basketball guy. Let's finish this off with a couple things.
Sure.
One, you were raised by a basketball or a sports fan mom,
Mom was a baskall star.
and she made you who you are today, which is a guy that I can't wait. A guy we need to get a refill of. Yeah, let's get another double. Let's get whatever we need to do. Yeah, no, I'm still good.
I'm not sure what my afternoon's going to be like.
It's cold out there. It's cold out there. Okay, so
Mom's awesome.
Your mom raised you. She's a basketball fan. What do you think of these Raptors?
Well, she's hardcore Raps, and it's fun I can call Mom and start catching up. How's my little brother? How's things? What's going on? And she'll turn it to the Raps within the first 2 minutes every time. Doesn't matter. We could have somebody on their deathbed back home, and we're going to be switching to the Raps. She'll be like, well, OG was so hot the other night, dear. Now, I'm not sure why we can't slide some of these guys into the starting lineup a little more often, like Macau. Macau can play, dear. Macau can play. Now, what is he, the 11th guy? He's the 12th guy. We're deep as the ocean, honey. We're deep as the ocean.
Yeah.
Now listen,
she's right.
She's awesome. She'll say, I don't know why people get nervous when Ibaka pulls up for that three-pointer, because he can hit that. He just needs to be told to shoot it. I think people question him too much. My favorite last year during the playoffs, she goes, you can tell, dear, those Sixers don't like each other. You can see it. They don't go out to dinner. The Raptors go to dinner, dear. Raptors go to dinner. Those Sixers, Embiid's going to break down and start crying here any minute. She called that. She called Embiid's tears. Like, game 2, she goes, Embiid's an emotional mess out there, dear. He's like, he's got to have a My Doll or something. That guy's on his friggin' period out there. Embiid's just a mess. He's a bit walking around just like ready to lose it. Strong takes, I'm telling you. And I was like, I don't know where she gets this Embiid thing. And then it happens. And I phoned her. I'm like, Mom, Embiid, he broke down. You were right.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Mama Steeves, you've done well.
Get her going on MJ Michael.
Yeah.
Or MJ LeBron. Get her going MJ versus Braun. She'll LeBron, dear. I hear about these. And the girls at Bridge the other day talking about LeBron. Imagine. And I said, to hell with that. He's just, with those big clod hoppers, he comes bounding into the lane like some big rah. And Michael was poetry. Dear. That MJ was like, you were seeing a painting being painted. LeBron's out there, and you can see the whole place shaking like it's the Flintstones set or something.
Oh, geez, so good. Oh, that's the best.
I was going to suggest, but the technical situation, I thought we should give her a shout today. Maybe some other time we could do that, because that would be hilarious.
Oh, I'd love to hear.
And she's such a ham. She would be like,
they're already saying that. They're saying, get Tim's mom on the show. Let's have his mom cap the Raps for us. Tim's mom MVP.
Yeah, 100%. She's fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We're hurt, dear. We're just like a half a team. We've just rang. We're 34 and 14. This was a little while ago. So we're 34 and 14. We haven't had half the roster half the time. She said, wait, me and you are going to have to dress, dear. It just keeps hot.
What a treat. What an absolute treat it is to have Tim Steeves rolling with us. Tim, you are headlining the Toronto Yuck Yucks here in what?
Downtown. Couple of weeks.
In what? That's February 27th to March 1st.
That's right. Thanks, buddy.
February 27th to March 1st. You can see Tim Steeves in action headlining the Toronto Yuck Yucks. And what an incredible comic you are, man. Thank you so much. Mama Steve sounds like the GOAT.
Yeah, she is. She's pretty fantastic.
Oh, man. I love it. Tim, thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Cheers,
Episode
Jimbo.
3, we got
Thanks,
Tim
man.
Steeves.
Thank you.
I will be at your poker game on Monday.
Awesome.
Yeah. I got to lay off the sauce.
Let the low baggers know anytime in the region.
Yeah.
Monday nights at Shea Steeves, the poker bunker.
Yeah.
Reach out.
It's a hell of a bunker. I'll take some pics there.
Throw some pics up.
I gave you a Jackie Robinson pic.
Got a Jackie Robinson coming around third at the Polo Grounds. So beautiful. I have that proudly displayed in the poker bunker, of course.
Beautiful. Sonny Vega says I'll be there. Sonny Vega, my guy. Sonny Vega will also be on the show. Sonny Vega, great capper, hilarious guy. We're gonna get him on the show. Nut Flush Allen says, Jimmy, please let us know when he will be in Vegas. Yes, we're gonna let all you guys know because we're going to do some big trips. We got lots of low bag Summit of Champions coming up, and some will be happening right here at the Dog and Bear, 1100 Queen Street West. I hope you guys.
Nice spot.
Yeah, it's nice, man.
And this is like real celebration of the footy. Right?
Yeah, they love it.
Forever blowing bubbles, blowing bubbles in
West Ham.
the air.
A lot of West Ham United fans.
West Ham.
Penguins -1, and
What is the lock? Do we have a taint lock? Is that what it's called? The taint play?
Taint play of the day is St. Peter's -5.5. I jumped on that. That'll be a half unit play for me. These are the full unit spots for me. Jets -1. And I don't want to take anything away from the taint by making a half unit play. It's just college basketball. And also tailing. When I straight tail without the study myself, I would rather bet less than my regular amount.
Gotcha.
Because I'm just following somebody's lead, and
Right.
I'd rather do that. Jets -1 and the under 6.5. I get why someone would take the Hurricanes. I don't want to take a -1.5 at this. I expect them to win 5-3. If I expect them to win 5-3, the way Mrazek's playing, it's Mrazek's birthday. Is he gonna? There's just too many moving parts. Yes, I understand why Gokster wants the over there, but I'm gonna stay off.
Does that scare you off a game when you just get into so much complexity? When you start getting extra more and more details?
Bolmeister has the cardiac issue on the bench.
Right, and now Dad's on the trip and the whole business. So once you get more and more complex things in, you just say piss on this?
Yeah, and it was 6-5 Knights victory, of course, because it was all out of whack. The over, and then we found out that Subban was going to be in between the pipes instead of Marc-Andre Fleury. I mean, what a mess.
Right.
What a mess. Those are my hockey picks, Omar. Simple, very simple spot for me. 4-game card. I'm on 3 plays, 2 games. I'm taking the under 6.5 and the Jets Sharks. I'm taking Jets -1.5 and Pens -1.5. Keep it clean. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for watching Sportsbook Review. Hit the link at the bottom of the page to support www.sbrvideo.com/thebag. A big thank you to my guest, my special guest, Tim Steeves. Man, we got to have you back.
Hey, thanks, Jimmy.
I love you, buddy.
Thanks, brother.
All
I
right.
love you, man.
All right. Enjoy the weekend. It's Valentine's Day. Do whatever you need to do with that.
Right. Go whack off in your SUV in the parking lot. That's what it takes.
Like Reese McGuire of the Toronto Blue Jays. All right. We'll catch you guys soon. Thank you for watching Sportsbook Review. We'll see you guys on Monday.